Hello friends. Today we are just going to be chatting. I don't have anything particular to talk about. I don't have any particular goals. You know what, let's do... There. I'm just here to talk to you for a bit, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. I figure we can do a bit of a channel update here, just talk, and then kind of just talk with chat. What do you guys want to talk about? Do you have questions? Do you have thoughts? Do you have ways I can improve? I'm always trying to do that too. I hope that I can have a good day too. I have had a very good day. I'm feeling wonderful right now, which is nice. It's like a new feeling, you know? It's like a new sensation. Not... If I looked back on my life, like, even just 3 years, but like, you know, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, and I would have considered myself happy in those times. I would have said, yeah, I'm a happy person. I'm happy with my life. But honestly, the amount of happiness that I have now, the amount of happiness that I have in my life right now, kind of like eclipses all of that. It's ridiculous to think about myself as being as happy as I am. I don't know. But yeah, I'm having a good day. There it is, the immediate dive into how's your day. Oh, you know what? Here's a consideration of my life's happiness. You know what? But, you know, that's kind of what I'm here for, right? On the channel, we are doing a lot of cool stuff. Right now we're going through Death of the Outsider for Dishonored, which I thought people would like more than they did, because Dishonored 1 and 2 did pretty well, all things considered, all things said and done. But for some reason, Death of the Outsider, not as many people are as engaged in that as well as I would hope, frankly, but as I thought they would be. That said, I am overwhelmed by the response on Illusion of Gaia, a series that I assumed was going to tank because no one's heard of it, right? No one's heard of that game. It's a game that's from the early 90s, from a studio that ended up getting consumed in a merger by a team that only made 3 games. Like, it's not high on the list of people's radar, you know what I'm saying? Now, I hyped it up a bit because it deserves to be hyped up, frankly. But I've been really happy with how well that's doing. My plan to continue right now is to have... That might be exactly why it's doing well. You know, yes and no. With people who follow the channel regularly, you know, with people who are regular here and active and what's not, yeah, you guys know how excited I've been about it. But honestly, it's been doing pretty well in terms of people who are coming in from, you know, meeting me, coming in from the outside and learning about me through that. That's the part that surprises me, you know? Because, like, there's a bunch of different groups of what I would call chat, right? There's the group that I know and talk to every day, you know, the regulars, the people who I see on the Discord channel, the people who I see in chat every day, who are like, I know you by name, I know you by, you know, like, I know you in a personal way, you know? Then there's the layer of lurkers, a whole bunch of people who are here who don't post, but I know are there. I can see the numbers, and I appreciate that you guys are there, you know? And you guys are wonderful too. You know, like, not everybody has to participate, not everybody has to feel a need to engage with the streamer. I like it when you do, don't get me wrong. It does also help the metrics. Like, I encourage you to leave a comment once in a while, but you don't have to. You know, the fact that you're watching my stuff means the world to me. It means that I'm doing something right. It means that I'm doing something right with what I'm doing. And then the third phase on that would be, you know, people who are watching completely out of order, who are picking up on the streams, you know, 6 months later, right? I mean, I am still actively getting viewers on, like, things that I've made 6 months ago. And that also feels fantastic. Because that's how I consume media. You know, that's how, like, I've mentioned it before, but that's how I consume YouTube, is that I go on and find a playlist that I want, and consume that over a week. So I want to respect, and I want to, you know, show my love for those people as well. But, yeah. So I think pretty much only the first group there, only that first category, are really having heard me hype up Illusion of Gaia. The other categories probably haven't either been paying attention to or haven't been aware of how excited I am for that, you know? So I'm just really happy people care, frankly. Aw, it's a treat falling asleep to my voice. Aw, thank you. I actually fell asleep in chat the other day, like on Discord, and it was a little embarrassing. Sometimes I go, a lot of nights I go onto Discord and I stream with people, whoever wants to show up and talk, you know? Either on, it's like Monster Hunter or Slay the Spire or Monster Train or something. Just relaxing. And, yeah. I fell asleep in chat. Whoops. Chrono Trigger was a great series. I'm really glad I got to show my perspective on that, because I think I have a unique perspective on that, you know? As somebody who is in the current era, right? Somebody who is recording in the year of our Lord 2023, who has a familiarity with the retro games, who played games in the 90s, who hadn't experienced Chrono Trigger, like, you know, that's kind of like my Minecraft thing, where it's almost like a once in a lifetime sort of event, you know? This doesn't really happen very often. And that's going to be again with Terra Enigma, because after we're done with hacking Illusion of Gaia, I'm going to be starting Terra Enigma. I do still want to talk about my content creation strategy. I don't know what you want to call it. You can call it whatever you want. But as far as like the content that I've been putting out, I do enjoy making TikToks. I'm going to be doing more of those. Hello, Lizzie. And so I've been I'm very much enjoying making TikTok content. If you're watching on YouTube, you see all of that. It's the YouTube Shorts content. I make it for TikTok and then I upload it to YouTube Shorts. I'm really liking making that content, and I'm going to do more of it. I'm not going to go like full Punk Lopi or something where that's the only content I make, right? I want to make a diversity of content. But I do enjoy making that. It just brings me pleasure. And then when I stream, what I've been doing, and I want to talk about this. Aw, thank you so much. This model is a delight, and it makes me very happy. But what I've been doing is I've been doing one long RPG on the channel. Like, we did Breath of Fire, they haven't all been retro, right? We've done a couple of more modern ones as well. What did like the modern Pokemon games. But I've had one RPG on the channel, and one more action-y game at the channel. And then trying to have about one chat stream in some fashion. I don't usually feel comfortable in chat streams because I like to have some direction. I like to know what's going to be going on, and I get scared if I don't have a path, if I don't know what people want to talk about. So, I mean, even this stream right here is a bit of a not a stretch. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a thing. It's like a whole thing. But yeah. So. Hi. I do have some thoughts, and I want to discuss them with you guys. Because right now we've been doing one story-based action game. It's been Dishonored for a while now, but before then it was others. And one RPG. Usually retro, but not always. Is that a format that you guys like? Is that a format that you guys enjoy? I do want to focus on doing narrative games. And if I'm going to play Valorant or something, I'm probably going to do it on the Twitch, just because I want to keep the channel focused on narrative experiences. Because that's what I love. That's what brings me joy. You know, if I'm playing Valorant or Dota, it's because I want to pass time. If I'm playing Illusion of Gaia or Final Fantasy VI, it's because I want to immerse myself in a story and feel emotions. And share those emotions with you, you know? So, like, yeah. Does that work with you guys? We will be doing the RPG. I've been doing the Kashak's Luminian game. You enjoy having cuter games? Yeah, actually, that's so true. Oh my goodness. The channel's gotten a little bit on the dark side lately, and I don't love that direction. Dishonored is... it's a dark game, though admittedly when you're playing clean hands, it's not the darkest game. It's dark adjacent. But it has some heavier tones, especially in the world design. And Illusion of Gaia is super dark. It is, it just is. So I do want to lighten the tone on the channel. So like the next RPG, maybe I don't want to go into Terra Enigma right away. Maybe I do want to go into like, I don't know, Final Fantasy IX or... I don't know, what people want, you know? Give me ideas. And for the action game, I was going to do Deathloop next, but Deathloop is kind of a... It's another Dishonored game. It's a continuation of the Dishonored series in the same world. Not because it's a continuation of the storyline, but it's in the same world. But now I'm thinking, like, maybe I do want to replace that, you know? Maybe not go full Little Gator game, but find something that's a bit happier. I can't do Beacon Pines. I do have a short hike I could do. Something of that side of nature. Because, and then in the other one I was thinking is Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World 2. I've never actually played that, and I think that's a much lighter tone, right? It's Yoshi saving a baby Mario. That's about as cheerful and retro as you can get. And that would, I guess, that would go in the action slot. I don't know. I've been, I've also been doing Kashak's game, and I've been really enjoying that. Kashak's game is very fun. And in the future, I will be running my own RPG on the channel as well. It'll be in Pathfinder, with some variations on the Pathfinder system. And... I think that's going to be a blast. There's some big names there, too. Some of them which you might recognize, some of which you might not. I'm not going to announce the full list until next week, because some people are still back and forth about their availabilities, but... there are going to be some exciting people there who are awesome people who are friends of mine. So. I don't know. Sounds like a load of fun. It does! And I'm excited. And I might do what I was doing with Dishonored before and cut back to doing the one or the other stream once a week. Because unfortunately, there's only so many days in a week, right? I need 2 days off just for mental health. You know, I need to have a day where I actually have an evening. Because you guys see me for 2 to 4 hours a night, right? I hope you guys understand that unlike a Twitch streamer who flips a switch and, you know, goes live for a while, I have a lot of setup. I have some configurations. I have some research. For me, even though I'm streaming for 3 hours a night, let's average it out, I'm probably spending 5 hours a night on stream and stream-related stuff, all things said and done. Plus I have a full-time job. I mean, it's a job that gives me a lot of flexibility in hours, which I really appreciate, because it lets me pursue this, but I also have a job. So basically, I need to have my 2 nights off a week, right? That's pretty reasonable. But if I'm doing a tabletop RPG every week, and I'm doing a, Kashak's every other week and my own every other week, and I have 2 days for an adventure game, and I have 2 days for an RPG, that's all my days. That kind of, you know, cuts out any of my chat streams, which, honestly, I do enjoy. Again, usually with more direction, but I do enjoy them. So... Plus, honestly, I want to do more uploads. Like, I want to do more with Luna. I have another series that I want to do as upload only. That's going to be a little bit shorter, closer to like half-an-hour episodes that I'll be able to upload. And yeah, TTRPGs are a lot of work to run as well, since it's stuff. But like the thing is, I love it. Like I love it. I'm still a small enough creator that YouTube isn't making a whole lot of, you know. It's not paying for the house. So... honestly, though, I love it so much that I want it to be my primary job, and then I want it to just do more of it. Eventually, someday I'll get there. Someday, this will pay my, this will pay rent, and I'll be able to just do this, I guess. Yeah. And then stream on Twitch during the day, edit videos in the evening, and then do it. Maybe do another. I don't know. I love it. It makes me happy. But it's not there yet. So unfortunately, I won't be able to do a TTRPG and 2 streams and of a retro game and 2 streams of an action-y game and have another stream for talking and then still hop onto Valorant and still create uploads once in a while. Like, I love it, but it's a lot. This isn't like, oh, this is letting you know I'm going on hiatus. No, it's not. I'm not going on hiatus. I couldn't. Last time I was on quote-unquote hiatus was when I was in Vegas, and you all know that I streamed half that trip, and the other half the trip I had uploaded videos for, which I did a few months earlier. So, like... I like things. Hot take, I like things. But if you have any ideas for stuff... Also... Oh yeah, and also on Wednesday. So yeah, I need 2 nights off a week. 1 night off a week I need just to be able to do things in the evening, make sure this house doesn't fall down the mountain. For anybody who doesn't know, I have a home that is in the middle of nowhere that is literally a 20-minute drive to get to the nearest grocer that is on a hill or a mountain, depending on your perspective. And I have to deal with invasive species in the yard. I have to repair the retaining wall, which is a constant struggle, as well as all the other normal homeowner stuff, plus all these other jazz on top. So I need the 1 night a week to do important stuff, and I need another night a week because I have my vocal lessons. I am doing voice lessons. Kobold lives in a kobold cavern in the kobold woods, more or less, actually. Yeah, I kind of do live, not exactly like this, but closer than you might expect. Oh yeah, I don't show off this piece of artwork on the channel too often. This is another one of the Dragon Last Dream pieces that was made for the channel. There's an entire series of them. You've seen the other ones. The normal... Where is it? This one here. What am I highlighting now? Oh yeah, this one. This piece here, my home piece, then my default cave, and then of course the retro. Yep, that's right. If all of my images break, if everything shatters, OBS will still default to showing my background cave. If you ever see this, it usually means that something's gone horribly wrong somewhere else on OBS. But yeah, I felt it was appropriate to use the entrance cave more often, at least today, or at least whatever. And then, yeah. I'm doing vocal lessons for, like when the game died last night. Oh my goodness. Though to be fair, that was neither the first nor last time that we would have, crashed a game. It will happen again, it has happened before. But, yeah, looks like a Bob Ross painting. I love it. Oh, and actually I should show the original, because this is a modified version. The original... is here with the turtle, with the cargo turtle. I love the cargo turtle. There's the full scale. I love the cargo turtle, but it doesn't quite fit for when I'm talking. It's more just for a presentation piece. This is better for a chat piece, because, you know. So. I'm kind of doing my voice lessons for 3 reasons. The first reason is streaming. I want to be a better streamer. I want to improve. I want to get my commentary better. I do have some background in improv acting. I do have some background in acting in general, which is both of those have helped me immensely. But I want to make sure that people like my voice. As I grab the mic so I get a little bit closer. Hi, how's it going? I want to make sure that, I'm as good a presenter as possible. And there's always room to improve. There always will be room to improve. When I hit 10,000 subscribers, I'll still have room to improve. When I hit 50,000 subscribers, I will have room to improve. And I will keep on trying. And if I never hit those numbers, I'll keep on trying anyways, because I believe that, I believe that it'll pay off. And even if it doesn't, it still has paid off because I'm happy and this brings me joy. And at the end of the day, that's the most important part, is that I just like this. But, so that's my first reason for doing vocal training. Second reason for doing vocal training, is for voice acting. I do want to have a demo reel. I actually have already paid for it with one of my friends who's going to be making it for me. And then I want to try to throw my hat into the voice acting arena. People have said a lot of good things, a lot of positive things about my vocal range. And I do have a decent vocal range. I can get into many different voices and characters. I can get into many different voices and pitches. I do have a lower range than some people might expect. I do have the ability to add gravel to it as well. Thing that not everyone can do for a long time. There's specific ways of adding this kind of gravel that don't hurt your throat. And I can also go, and I have a lot of variances and different ways I can add it, different placements in my mouth, different characters I can do. I'm not good at accents, and I'm not good at impersonations. Impersonations, I know it's like a cornerstone of vocal lessons, but I'm just not as great at them, but I'm better at finding a voice. If I have a character 2 voice and I can find that voice, then I can work with it. I can get into it. And at the end of the day, that's, your ability to get a job as a voice actor is more based on your ability to have a voice that fits a character than your ability to impersonate somebody else's voice for a character, right? If I could do a beautiful Mark Hamill Joker, that'd be cool if I was being Mark Hamill or trying to replace him. I'm not. I'm me, So I might want to be a character in a thing that doesn't have a lot of... I wouldn't replace somebody else's character, but I would hope to become a character. Even if it's just a bit part. That would be awesome. So, that's the second reason. Second reason is to improve my ability to create a new career. Oops, there goes my plug for my hands. My back. Hey there. To pursue that as a career option. Can I pay you to say wacky lines? Absolutely. That's actually an option on my Ko-fi. I have a Ko-fi, right? I think it's even in the description, probably? It is, yeah. No. Actually, it's not. Oh my goodness. I have a Ko-fi that's actually has the ability to purchase... hiccups. Where is mine? Where am I? Yeah, my Ko-fi actually has a commission section for voice acting. There you go. Plus, there's also the fourth wall page. Is that listed in here? Yeah, the merch shop is in fourth wall right now, but the Ko-fi.com is still active if you wanted to commission. But you don't have to. I mean, it's just a thing that's there. And then the third reason for taking vocal lessons is that, as many of you know, I'm not dysphoric about my voice. I love my voice. I love how much I can do with my voice. I used to despise it. I used to hate my voice. But now I am proud of it. But I am still trans. I am still a transgendered individual. I am more non-binary. I'm not, as painfully against the masculine side of myself as I used to be, or as many trans people are. But that does not change the fact that I am, transgendered. It is a thing. I've been on hormones for a long time, and IRL, I can pass as a woman until I open my mouth. So one of the big reasons for practicing in my voice is so that I can pass IRL, so that I can present as female and not risk being hurt. Because even in a safe place where I live, there are people who don't like, there are people who have opinions, you know? And sometimes those opinions can get people hurt. So that was simultaneously the most important and least important, because I don't hate my voice when I talk normally. But I also want to be safe in public. Not that I go into public often, but sometimes you gotta, you know, the world exists. And I have to be careful. We all have to be careful. If you're any form of... Everybody has to be careful in some fashion. The world's a cruel place, but it is getting better. Sometimes it gets better, and sometimes it gets worse, and sometimes it gets better again. Like, if you look historically, you know, trans people were accepted until a couple hundred years ago. Bisexual and gay people were accepted until just a couple hundred years ago. The Greeks were fine with that. Japan was fine with you were allowed to have a lover of the same sex. No one really cared. You know, it was kind of expected if you were on a long sea voyage, if you were, you know, Dutch or Portuguese. If you're like, oh, yeah, it just happens. It doesn't matter. And then we kind of backslid into, that. Oh, Lord Theo, welcome. It's been a hot minute, huh? But the world will get better, and again, it just takes some time, you know? But non-binary and transgender and gay and lesbian all have been accepted in the past and are being more accepted now and will be more accepted in the future. There just was a terrible break in the line there. But it's getting better. The world's getting better. Everything's getting better. At least in the scale of my life. And I want to keep the trend going in that direction. Hot take. Was it allowed to teach on kids? What? The Mesopotamian mythology for fertility goddess Ishtar is the patron for trans people, yeah. And even Greeks, as much as, like, you know, a lot of the dude bros want to look at Greek and, oh, Sparta! Sparta's real cool! Well, yeah, sure. Spartans were happy with homosexuality. They were cool with that. They never cared about it. Why, if you want to say, we should model our culture after the Greeks, then why don't you actually look at the Greeks and how what they did? The Greeks actually believed that occasionally when Apollo would make a baby, you know, when Apollo knit together a child in the womb, when Apollo grabbed a soul Apollo grabbed a soul to put into a body, they believed that occasionally Apollo would grab the wrong soul and put a woman's soul in a man's body, or vice versa. That was Greek legend. That was actual Greek legend. And the reason was that he got drunk, because Greek gods got drunk. He got drunk and put the wrong soul in their body. That's why you're trans. I kind of love that. I was seeing an artifact or two of Roman men. Yeah, Romans were famously okay with that. You know, with homosexuality, they was like, whatever. It's another form of pleasure. As long as you're not hurting anybody, as long as everybody consents. And everybody can consent. Obviously, children don't have a developed enough brain to consent, and you. And obviously, animals cannot consent. Like, as long as you're doing things with consenting people, then why would anyone care what format that takes? You know? Just doesn't, you know, like, they just didn't care. It's like, yeah, if you're having a good time and you're not hurting anybody and everybody consents to it and they're all adults, whatever, right? Why is just a sex? Why you have to be mad? Rome had an empress. I mean, that's a fact. Rome had a transgender empress. Rome had a Gallabus who was... A lot of documents had been burned, but a Gallabus was a Roman empress. A Roman trans woman who demanded that the Roman Senate refer to her as she, her. A empress who offered the modern equivalent of like $1 billion for anybody who could create bottom surgery. They were very much trans femme. They were willing to offer a king's ransom for any doctor that could create bottom surgery. Unfortunately, just nobody could. Doctors simply didn't have that technology. They just weren't able to. But yeah, Rome had a transgender empress, and they ruled over a fairly good and peaceful time too, I believe. So yeah, we have our place in history and we have our place in the present. You know, we haven't always had to hide. That's a more modern reaction to people, and frankly, it's not a great one. Like the modern reaction of having to hide goes back to the Puritans basically, and the way that they shaped the world in their own image and believing that everybody had to be more in their way, especially in modern era. Some of your favorite vintage newspapers about actors being trans and people being portrayed with it? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And like, there apparently was a common thing where you might even be able to ask your grandparents. They might even been alive with that. It was not an uncommon thing for some parents to say, "Oh, little Timothy is going off to stay with his grandparents. Little Timothy's not here anymore. By the way, his sister, who's totally Timothy's cousin, her name is Jessica. She's coming to stay with us." And they just sort of did that to culturally say, "Oh yeah, this is a different person. This is Jessica. She looks a lot like Timmy. Did you see the resemblance? But that's not Timmy. That's Jessica." That's how trans people were handled in like early 1900s, even in like, you know, in Western cultures. That's kind of cool. You know, it's cool that people are allowed to exist. Hot take, hottest take of the day, nuclear take. I think it's cool when people are allowed to exist. Too spicy. But yeah, I like existing. Hot take again. But yeah. And everyone knows about the penguin study, I assume. Does anybody not know about the gay penguin study? Because that is just one of the greatest studies that has ever been committed to science. You do not? Okay, cool. If nobody said they didn't know it, then I was going to go into the story anyways, just because I wanted to make sure that, you know, that people could hear. Anyways, okay, so gay penguins. Okay, so ready for this chat? Gay penguins. Also, okay, before I go into this, before I tell you about gay penguins, because it might be relevant to the gay penguin story. I don't know what it's going to be about. I know, you know. But I want to let you know that every month I have a clip contest. I give $10 to the person who has the best clip that they've taken from me, whether it's on Twitch, whether it's on YouTube, and then the one that has the most views. If you take it to Reddit or Twitter and just post it on the Discord or, you know, at me on a platform so that I know that you did it. And the one that has the most views, $10 towards whatever. Like towards either, you know, like I think the last person wanted a Valorant skin, so I did a gift card through that. The person before that wanted me to donate it to somebody else. Literally said, "Hey, send this to another person for a commission that I'm doing," and I did. This month's has gone unclaimed. There's been almost no clips this month. So if you want an easy $10, clip something and send it to Reddit. Anyways, gay lizards. No, I'm the gay lizard. No. Anyways, gay penguins. Hi. Also, I am, you know, bisexual / pansexual / whatever. I just like gay as a general catch-all term because, anyways, but the penguins are actually gay. The penguins are full-on gay. Turns out there's gay penguins. A bunch of researchers, scientific researchers, were studying penguins in Antarctica, specifically studying the mating habits and the upbringing, the raising of children from penguins. And what they saw, what kind of shocked them, because they saw that occasionally parents would kick an egg out of their nest if they didn't want to have a kid. Effectively abortion. Basically, if the penguins they didn't want to have a kid, they would say, okay, well, this is still an egg, we're just going to roll it away, and it'll freeze. That's fine, and that was fairly normal, and that was kind of expected. They kind of knew that going into this study, but they wanted to actually document it and do properly with scientific research and you know all the. They had to have it on a chart, right? If you're doing science, you have to have a chart. If you have a bunch of information, cool. You have to put it on a chart before it becomes science, right? So they wanted to put it on a chart so there was actually science then. Mm-hmm. So. They were watching this, and then they saw something interesting. They saw a couple of gay penguins. They were like, wait, does that one have female types? And they would just did a bunch of checking, like, no, these they're both dudes. Oh, well, they seem to be mate bonded. Yeah, those two male penguins are mate bonded. And then they started looking around at the place and found, like, I don't remember the percentage, but a decent percentage of the relationships. When I say decent, I mean like 5%, maybe, you know, or 10%. Not enough to skew, like, the ability to raise children, you know, or create children, but enough to say that there's a respectable gay population there. We're gay. Like, oh, geez, there's actually a lot more gay penguins than we thought. Neat. Okay, well, let's write this down. And wait, what's that one doing? Oh, that one grabbed an egg. No, didn't steal it. That was an egg. Statistically significant. Thank you. Why that one grab an egg? That was an egg. That wasn't a stealing an egg. That was an egg that was kicked out of the nest by one of the other straight couples. Why? They're raising it. They took it. They're sitting on it. They're nesting on it. The gays adopted a kid and raised a child. Because the straight couple didn't want another child and was just going to, well, let what was at the time just an egg go to waste and just kind of toss it apart. And they took it in and raised a child. And then they saw that some of the other gay penguin couples had children. Here's the problem. This was... One tech here. This was 1911. This was 1911, and that was right at the push of the Puritan-style movements, and the church's control over, well, sexuality. They were like, we can't use these notes. We can't use these. We can't publish this. If we go back to... let me see where they were from. British. They were British. If we go back to Britain, if we go back to the UK... Was it even the UK in 1911? I don't know. If we go back to England and we publish this paper, we'll get kicked out of the church. Our names will be slandered. We can't publish this. But it's true, we have this information, and we have to publish something. We have to publish something to keep our credentials intact and to justify the fact that we went on this, on this excursion. This is true. This is all fact. You can literally find this on Wikipedia. And, like, other more credible sources, but also Wikipedia. And they suppressed it. They had to publish it, so they published it in Greek. Partially in Greek. They published the study in English for most of the records for everything they took. All the gay stuff, they wrote in Greek. To prevent the knowledge from becoming widely known, knowing, rightly so, that most people aren't going to look up a random ornithologist. Ornithology is bird study, right? Knowing that most people weren't going to look up a random ornithology study about penguins, about the reproductive and mating habits of penguins. But they had to publish something, and it is published record. And when it was re-earthed, about a century later, in 2012, yeah, they buried it for 100 years. They buried it for 100 years. They had the knowledge, but they didn't feel that it was safe to tell anybody. And then in 2012, it was unearthed, I guess. Unearthed is kind of the wrong term because that implies more archaeology, but at that point, it might as well be. And they said, oh, huh, neat. We've always known this. The funny thing is, I'm glad it was preserved that long. I mean, we know a lot about homosexuality in animals. It's not as uncommon as people like to think. There are some people. I have heard the argument. Well, it's unnatural. It doesn't happen in nature. I've heard that. I've heard people say that with their own word-mouth lips. People have said that with their own word-mouth lips. That there is no such thing as homosexuality in nature. It's unnatural. How many times have you heard that? I've heard that. It's unnatural. Now, here's the thing. All they had to do was talk to a farmer. All they had to do was the citation. Actually, let me give that to you. Let me give you the proper one. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Unpublished notes on the sexual habits of the Adelaide penguin, republished online by Cambridge University Press in 2012. A previously unpublished 4-page pamphlet. That's the actual scientific document. There's better things to read about it, but that'll get you really where you want to go if you want to do some research. There's something about homosexuality being a collective benefit. Absolutely. And all they had to do was talk to a farmer. All they had to do was talk to a shepherd, right? I mean, sheep are famously homosexual. Like, to the point where it's a problem for some shepherds because they're trying to breed better coats, better fleeces. And sometimes the sheep just won't do it. Sometimes the sheep just won't go to town because, nope, that's not how they swing. It's like actually a known issue. And the other another one that's very common, one of the more common ones, is also lions. There's all male prides and all female prides. In all female prides, instead of the women hunting for the men, they hunt for each other, and some of them take breaks. They take breaks and handle it, whatever they want. And in the prides of males, usually it's only 2 or 3. But in the prides that are all male lions, they just hunt and share. They just do teamwork. They just work together and sleep together and live together. So yeah, the 3 gayest animals on the planet, present company excluded, obviously, are penguins, who actually have an entire support network set up for it, and then the lion and the lamb. I find that funny. I find that hilarious. What animals are commonly represented as being homosexual? Lions and lambs. Oh, hey, wait a minute. What about giraffes? Probably. I don't know. Those are the ones I know about, right? Those are the ones I'm most aware of because of the media I've consumed. What are you getting here? This scar just needed to find a nice boy. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Aren't those allegorical too? Oh, yeah. I love that. It's, if you know, you know. I'm just gonna say if you know, you know. It's, yeah. But it's hilarious, and kind of, it is natural. It is a natural thing. It is a natural thing. So is polyamory, but that's kind of a different thing because a lot of animals don't have a concept of binding oaths. Though several do have strong monogamous oaths, and especially in avian species. But I don't know as much about that because a lot of animals aren't pair bonded, an animal I would think needs to be capable of pair bonding to intentionally choose a polyamorous lifestyle, because otherwise if they don't have the capability of A, then it's not going to be B. But the animals do have the capability of sexual attraction, so I think that the argument for homosexuality in nature is just writes itself. It's just there. But I've heard people make the other argument, and since we're on the topic, I'd figure I'd mention that for anyone in the audience who enjoys that. Turns out, animals, kind of cool. Giraffes aren't straight, just in general, they don't bother checking. That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. I did not know that. I'll do some research onto that. I don't... I know for bonobo it's that way too, where bonobo don't really care, but there's unquestioning that they know, and then part of my question is if the giraffes didn't know, or are they just, going at it? Like, yeah. There's a dolphin named Peter who studied in isolation by a female, and that dolphin ended up like, yeah. I remember that story too. The dolphin fell in love with their handler. Though you could probably just make a story about Stockholm Syndrome, given that it was a captive study. Isolation studies and captivity studies really do need to be thought about separately. It's like the wolf study, the alpha wolf sort of thing. That only happened for wolves in captivity. That was never true in the wild. In wild, wolves are about family hierarchies. It's the oldest is usually the one in charge, unless they fail or fail to lead, in which case they are challenged as a leader. But it's not whoever's strongest; it's whoever the group respects the most. That's how wolves work. It's not. Captive wolves from different packs. The guy who did that study went on record saying that he spent he spent a year of his life. He spent 6 months of his life making that study, and the following 15 years trying to explain to people why it was wrong. I was actually a quote by him. I spent 6 months making this study, and the rest of my life trying to explain to people what I got wrong about it. And if you look in dude bro culture, they refuse to accept it, even in face of authorial evidence, I will say in science, authorial intent is more important than in books or literature. Authorial intent in literature, usually not important at all, because the world is what you get out of it. But in science, you do have to consider what the person making the study, who's paying them, what preconceptions they're going in with, what are they looking for? Because sometimes if they're looking for a certain thing, they might find it and be able to prove it, without actually going into the same scientific rigor that they might need to do if they were, going in unbiased. Kills you that people claim it's purely survival of the fittest. Yeah. In nature, it's survival of the group, it's survival of the team, it's survival of everybody. The person who's fittest is the one who's in the best position to protect others, not to exploit them. Right? The person who has the fittest is in the best position to be supporting people. There's a lot of talk going on right now about Mr. Beast, and I figure we might as well bring it up here. Mr. Beast, for those of you who don't know, has been donating a lot of money to give people sight, to pay for people's vision surgery. And some people were like, well, isn't he just exploiting them? Isn't he just using them? Isn't he just doing this for his own popularity? It's like, no, he really is giving these money to people. No, they really can see now. Like, you can argue that, there's more effective ways to spend money to create equality of people and to give people an opportunity to succeed, but he's very much doing a good thing. Well, it doesn't count because he's trying to be popular about it. It's like, well, he's popular because that's what he does. He's the most famous YouTuber. He's doing it because that's going to be exciting for everybody to watch and experience alongside him, right? Yeah. I do charity stuff. I don't talk about it a whole lot, but I also do charity stuff. But I don't try to. How can I phrase this? I feel weird if I try to promote myself with it. I did that with the J.K. Rowling thing, where I ended up donating over $150 to the Trevor Project, but that was because I wanted to be public about it. Usually I'm not public about that kind of thing. He's built a brand off of kindness. That's a good brand to have, right? What the Kobold doing? We just talking. We hanging out. You having a good time? And I really like what Lickit says. Lickit. Lilkit? Lilkit. Yeah, sorry, I read that as Lickit, like the Pokemon. He does charity to gain popularity. Gaining popularity earns him money. Money can be used for charity. Exactly. I mean, yeah, I support this. I think it's fantastic. As long as we also point to the, obvious things, we still do need to point and say, hey, oh, that's Kidderdoodle. Hello! We still do need to point to the obvious and say, hey, this shouldn't have happened to begin with, We still need to say, hey, this person should have had their eye surgery paid for because of a functioning healthcare system. This person, buying the homeless person a pizza, well, it's a tragedy that there was a homeless person to begin with, right? That alleviates a failure of a system, but it still also highlights that the system has failed these people, right? But yeah, that's my stance on it. I think that that overall is still a very positive thing. How am I? I'm wonderful. I'm having a wonderful day, and I hope that you are too. Big stretch. There we go. Oh, I learned how to do something cool with my model. Want to see? You'll be able to see some of my overlay stuff here, but that's a natural consequence of whatever. This is a special stream. I'm not like... So one thing I learned how to do is if I turn in one direction and I slam body stiffness to max, I can turn back and have this, sort of an off-angle look, And I think this actually works really well for TikTok. I don't think it's really good for streaming because I have to lock the body stiffness and the whole rest of the body becomes a lot more rigid. But so that's that. Look at my thumbnail. This is how I created the over-the-shoulder look, which I usually can't do on a VTuber model. It does still work for my hand tracking. My hands appear in weird places, which is why I have them down right now. But yeah, I want to show that off because that's kind of cool. I think it's more dynamic, I've been using that for TikToks and shorts. But normally, it moves a little bit when I move, But I turn, block, turn. Wait, that didn't work. Turn, block, turn. Hey. Trying to finger gun. Why is my hand tracking not picking up finger guns? Kind of. That looks so terrible. Whatever. You see what I was going for. I'm going for a thing. Whatever. Bah. You've been thinking about getting into playing Dungeons and or Dragons. Oh, it's nice for doing poses and artist reference. Big agree. Has Jade ever been thick? Always. I mean, come on. I'm going to say always on that one. Where am I? Here? That sound good? That sounds good. Stream getting spicy. Yeah, sure. Vtuber when. Anyways. I think about getting into D&D. You only experienced this Pathfinder a few times years ago. She paid. So, I am a firm believer that the system that you play RPGs in is not that important. Like, the system is not the important thing. The important thing is the characters that you make, right? Now, I've been spoiled very heavily for good players because I played a lot in acting school, and then I've also played with content creators. So for me, like, having a character with a strong personality, the system is just for... Yeah, exactly. The system is just for combat. The system is there for checks and for combat. Everything else is just role-playing. D&D is well known because it's always a good system, but once you get a good group together, it's rarely the best system. The best system is the one that gives you the most fun when working with the other players, right? That's why I've always been a big proponent of 4th edition, is because 4th edition is really exciting in combat. 4th edition combat is just a really fun board game. And then people are like, oh, it doesn't have a whole lot of role-playing options. Sure it does. Your role-playing options are telling people what you do. It's just having a personality. That's your role-playing. You know? Having a character is your role-play options. So, yeah, I would say get your group together and find out what people want out of the game. That's what's important. You need to find out what people want from the game. If people want... if people want a more combat-focused thing, then look into some of the games like that are more combat-focused, be it Pathfinder or Lancer if you're going in that genre, or a D&D 5th edition, or maybe even 4th edition if you want to go retro and try it out. Like, if your characters want a lot of combat, then by all means, you know, work with whatever has the best combat for you. If the players only care about role-playing, then why are you picking a system that focuses on combat? If you're playing a game that focuses on, you know, that all the players want to do a lot of role-playing in, play, what's it called? Dungeon World. Go play, Mouse Guard. Go put down the dice and just act things out and have people self-check if they do something that, you know, that seems too powerful. Just have them say, actually, no, I wouldn't do that. I couldn't succeed in that. And, you know, just toss the dice away altogether and just act with each other. That's my stance. That's where I'm coming from in this. Apocalypse World, yeah. So, like, find out what your players want, and if the system your players want is Dungeons & Dragons, that's fine. If the system your players want is Thirsty Sword Lesbians, which is an RPG system, look it up, then you should be giving the players what they want. Give the players the Thirsty Sword Lesbians. It's a system designed on entirely based on ensuring that you have proper mechanics to set up a duel with an enemy who you also are in love with, so that you can cross swords in the middle of a fight and confess your love to them and then kiss them in the middle of the battle. Like, play it. It's good. Like, it's a beautiful trope. I love it. But. So, like, find the system that fits for your players. That's what I want to say. Is I lived through the E-Edition wars. I lived through the time when people were angry about 4th edition because 3.5 was quote-unquote better. When 3.75, Pathfinder 1st edition, was hitting the markets, and people had all sorts of opinions. And in the end, it's the same as the console wars. It's the same as the old Nintendo or Sega. Get the one that has the games you want. You know? The console wars are useless. It doesn't matter what console you have. Obviously, PC is better, but that's because PCs are capable of more things. You can add more mods, you can add more creativity in things. That doesn't make consoles bad. The Switch is an amazing system with no mod support, and it's one of the best consoles that's ever existed, and has an incredible library, and its gimmick is pretty fun. The PlayStation 4 was a great system. The PlayStation 3 was an amazing system. Like, every company out there has good systems. There's not a big problem, and yet, if you were alive in the early 2000s, then you know that was the discourse. Sorry. The discourse. That was the discourse. And it was dumb and bad, and that's really where system discourses are now in tabletop games. It's who bloody cares? Find the system that works best for your players and play it. Don't feel like you need to hit the mainstream ones like D&D. Don't feel like you need to play something that's hipster and say, "Oh, have you played Everybody is John?" No, well, I guess you're not really a gamer. No, like, and honestly, that system is pretty good for a one shot. You have everyone is playing the same character. Literally, everybody in the party is inside of one person's head, and you all take turns controlling him and ruining his life. But like, find the system that fits both your game and the expectations of your players. Do what's fun and lean towards whatever is going to go. You don't really have a group at the moment, so there's a few steps that need to be taken first. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Find out your group and then find out what they expect out of the game. I'll be going into this in a couple weeks when I start my game. It's going to be a very interesting DID simulator. True, it's going to be a very interesting experience because I'm going to be approaching it from the idea of, okay, what does this game need to look like for the players? What kind of game do the players want? Yeah. You've seen too many people play an NCR Good Karma character for the 50th time. That's comfort. What you're talking about is comfort. And yeah, and that is true. D&D is usually a comfort system for most people. That's actually a really good way of putting it. It's a comfort system because it's always a decent system for what you're doing. It's not always the best one. Who do I play with, Jade? Well, right now, I have 1.5 games going. Right now I have a game going with the delightful Kashak, Kobold Sprig, Aisley, Bradical, Teo the Otter, Mini Diablo, who just joined it recently. It's I'm probably leaving like one person out, and they're going to call me out on it, as well they should. It's an excellent game, and it's currently all of its visible. You can see the playlist of it. It's all been done on the channel. And then in 2 weeks from today, hopefully, if everything goes as planned, I'll be starting a new game that's Pathfinder 2nd Edition with some amazing people as well. With, I'll just announce it. The people who have agreed to it. It's Kobold Sprig, who's just a delight in everything. Like, just any time that Kobold Sprig's involved, you can just expect it to be a wonderful time. It's going to include Magus Serling coming back to the channel, who you might know from Clutch, a Kobold Story, who you might know from Has Been Hotel, who you might know from Hell of a Boss. Magus Serling will be joining that game, which is exciting. Our own Bill Guisarme will actually be playing in it, which is a delight, as they are somebody who I've played tabletop RPGs with many times before, and they kind of know my style, so that should be a good, addition to the party as always. And then an individual who, don't let the name frighten you away, the Great Dictator, who you might know from their Gmod? No, SFM, Source Filmmaker projects. They made some of the very famous SFM Team Fortress 2 videos. Very cool person. I will admit I was a little bit nervous because their name is the Great Dictator. I'm like, oh, geez, it sounds like pretty fashy. I don't know if I'm... But then actually talking to them and talking with them for a while, they're actually very chill. They're actually very cool. I was shocked. And then there's one more slot, which is we're currently trying to hammer out, make sure that that everything is going to be cool with everyone. So it's going to be an amazing party. A ton of very creative people, absolutely. And good people, too. Good people, good times. And that is going to be... You know what? No, I'll give you the pitch. I will give you the actual pitch if you guys want it. You guys want the plot hook? Let me know if you want the plot hook. But my GMing style is pretty unique. My GMing style involves a lot of RP-focused things and a lot of interesting mechanics. Pathfinder scares you because it's so number-heavy? Then watch my game and let me know what you think. I want to know what people think about it. Because I don't think I'm going to be playing it in a terribly number-heavy way. I don't think it's going to be number-heavy when I'm DMing it. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But, yeah. So the plot hook. A new... I need to get into a good narrator voice. Where's my narrator voice for today? Oh yeah, like and subscribe or something, I guess, if you want to. Where's my narrator voice? Is it here? Yes, I believe it is. Maybe a little bit higher. There we go. And what am I doing with my mouth? Yes, I think I will go a bit harder on the enunciation than I usually do. Very good. Good voice. A voice. I found a voice. This is going to be a good voice. We'll see if it's a good voice. This could be a good voice. A new world has been found across the ocean, in the center of an ocean. No, I need a pause there. A new world has been found across the ocean. In the center of the ocean, there is a giant anti-magic cloud that has blocked all scrying or teleportation attempts. Scholars call it the Rift Nebula, but the sailors just describe it as a shimmering pink fog bank. For most of history, it was assumed there was nothing beyond the seas. Scrying showed nothing. But one adventurer decided to try their luck and see if they could sail past it. In their endeavor, they found a new continent that had never been known of. A homesteading effort began, setting up a small town along the coast. Teleportation magic could not cross the rift. They had to travel through archaic means of setting up a ship. They've kept a friendly trade with the native Gripply, sending back strange and unique trade goods. But unfortunately, they're in need of adventurers. The elven magnates that have been funding this endeavor sent out a handful of invites to adventuring parties to try to stimulate things, to try to finish up the odds and ends that are needed in this new world. Your party has received one of these invitations to go to a new land, being tasked with helping in the basic adventuring necessary to keep people and trade safe. Words like that could only be written by an elf, and you can see secrets hidden in between the words. They've invited you to dinner at one of the finest establishments in the Elven Quarter of a large city nearby to discuss the terms. You, as a group, have decided to hear them out. That's my pitch. That's the plot hook pitch. If you want, Jade, I can see if my DM has any more players. Huh? Oh, in the birthday game? Maybe. That could be interesting. Like, is this a one-shot thing? You have to let me know well in advance. I will need to know before it starts. But yeah, this is the plot hook for the New World campaign, which will be starting in 2 weeks, if everything goes well. And of course it'll go well. It'll have to. I won't let it fail. No, it's a good group, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, in summary, gaming. So I will be doing that, and that's what I was saying before. I was going to eat up some of my time, my streaming time, because I can't stream another night a week. I just can't. You need confidence as a DM. You think your enthusiasm. Yeah, you also need adaptability. I think that improv is the most important thing for role-playing and for streaming, frankly. The ability to come up with something on the fly and be able to work with it on the fly is just critical to your ability as a DM to adapt. If you find yourself with a rigid DM, then you're probably going to falter at some point. You're probably going to hit a point where you either feel railroaded or you feel like your decisions don't matter. Not exactly the same thing, but that can happen with any sort of rigid GM. Yeah, confidence is important, but adaptability is more important. And I pride myself on being an extremely adaptable DM. I pride myself on the cooperative world building and working alongside players to make things work. Let me switch up the music. By the way, this music we've been listening to the whole time is the Comfy Cave theme. This music was made specifically for the channel, I'm sure some of you know. And I do adore it. This theme is, I can listen to this music for hours on end and never get tired of it. But sometimes I think that you guys might get tired of it, so I'm going to swap it out anyways. Oh wait, no, that one wasn't it. That was the Comfy Cave music. This is the channel music. There we go. This is the custom music. It's actually better than the one I had running. I can listen to both of those for hours, though. The other one is more whimsical. The other one is more lighthearted and whimsical, and the simplified instrumentation gives it more of a vibe of a Super Nintendo vibe. It gives it a retro RPG vibe. This is more of a fantasy vibe, right? This is more going on a quest. This is going and walking through the woods and just... It's the middle section of Lord of the Rings where the characters are walking for, 3 chapters, and you are enjoying it because the characters are talking and having genuine conversations, and even though no plot has been progressed, you feel like you know the characters better for reading that part of the book. That's what this music reminds me of, is that part of things. And yeah, I do own the rights to all the music I use. This track was after Eat the Fey Berries. I need to record that TikTok. Yeah, I do. Could I record a TikTok while live? That might be kind of an interesting experience. What do you think? I don't know. Maybe silly. Probably too silly. But, I don't have any plans. Again, this is a completely unscripted and unplanned segment. Where do I get my fantasy music? You mean the stuff I use for the channel? Well, this was custom made by Anthony Bandon-Sagers, who's a composer, frankly. Anthony Bandon-Sagers did where's their IMDb? There it is. The Good Wife, Whalefall, and Clutch Kobold Story are 3 things that they did, as well as their own individual tracks and music that were not made for movies. So this is actually a custom composition for me specifically. I worked with him making this. The reason I found him actually was through Clutch. He had some financial trouble. It's like, I need to make ends meet this month. If anyone needs some music, I will go over the top for you. And I'm just like, I could use some music. That sounds like a pretty handy thing to have. So I did, and I have it. The song gives you a reminiscent vibe, like looking back to where the adventure started. Yeah. A big agree. It fills me with happy. Slides into DMs. Hi. Oh yeah, and if you want more of me, I guess, I am the most active on Discord. I am active on Discord all the time. That's just how I communicate with the world. Like, that's my social media. I have Twitter. I post my stream announcements there, and just dumb things. I have a Twitch account. It's dead. I don't usually do Twitch because I'm just happier on YouTube, frankly. And I need an Instagram, frankly. I have a TikTok, which, again, is all the stuff you see on YouTube Shorts. I have a Tumblr, which is not really used for a whole lot, just some random dumb thoughts I have. But Discord I'm on all the time. Discord I'm on effectively all the time. And I will hop into Discord and just hang out with people. You don't have to be there. I completely understand if you're not, but whatever. Okay, so this track right here is about 5 minutes long, I want to say? Let me double check. How long is this? Where is this? Where is... There it is. So yeah, this is about a 5-minute track that's about 90 seconds worth of music, then redone multiple times in different tones. You can hear right how now it switched over to the more legato, more smooth style. Oh yeah, Tama, you're in there for sure. You enjoy my random dumb thoughts. I'm glad to hear that. This has to be the favorite theme you use. It says a lot without lyrics. I feel the same. I really do feel the same. This... Wow, it's very heartfelt. It's a very heartfelt track. Yeah, sure, let's do a thing. We'll do a thing together. I was planning on doing a thing tonight anyways. Hi, how's it going? Oh, yeah, okay, good. Hi, how's it going? Welcome to the Green Void. Even though I'm going to put this on a background, even though I'm going to be putting this on a background, I actually record in green screen first. Alright, so where's my script? There we go. Adjust my body position so it captures well. And what is my framing going to look like? My framing for this one is going to be more up close. No, maybe it's not. Maybe I want to show... I think I do want to do a body check. So if I go here... body stiffness 0, body stiffness 100. Now let's leave that hand untracked, I think, maybe. Maybe? I don't know. I do like gesturing with my hands. That's a pretty good frame, I think. Alright, what's my script? Water first. I can't wait till I get my new hands. I'm getting new hands in the near future. Hide hand. If you're in the middle of a fantasy world, you should absolutely eat the food. Eat the pomegranate, drink the wine, and try the soup. It's excellent. When else are you going to get that chance? You're not going to throw it away, are you? Oh no, I might not be able to return to my world. Buddy, I've seen your world. Why do you... And then a hard cut at Y. What else do I need in there? What else would make this better? If you're in the middle of a fantasy world, you should absolutely eat the food. That starts with that if you're in and catches the ear right away. That should be pretty good. Then I have a nice rule of 3. Eat the pomegranate, drink the wine, and try the soup. It's excellent. Nice little reinforcement of what the first state is saying. When else are you going to get that chance? Actually, let's switch out these two lines back and forth. You're not really going to throw it away, are you? When else are you going to get the chance to try this type of food? To try that kind of food? Oh no, I might... Yeah. Oh no, I might not be able to return to my world. Buddy, I've seen your world. Why? That works, that works. Right, so let's nuke this hand here. And how's this hand going to situate? It's weird because of the body angle, but I can make it work. Let's get rid of general settings for now. Position. I need to go forward. I need to go more in. Can I Control Z to fix that? I cannot. That doesn't make a difference. There it is. Position right, left. If I'm not tracking this one, then this is here. I can clip into my own body since it's not actually truly tracking it. It's not tracking actually where my hand is going in space. It also makes me look left-handed, but whatever. That's fine for this. You have your favorite characters in D&D. Okay, so I can hit recording while I'm live. A little more water first. And let me grab my clicker, because I have a clicker. It's very useful for audio stuff, if you're doing recording. Nuke this hand. Looks super weird. I don't know, that hand looks weird. And I don't want to leave it blank. I hope that when I get my VR body trackers that I can use it. What if I just angle the arm down? That looks a little bit more natural. There, that looks better. Kind of. I don't love it, actually. But it looks a little bit more natural. I'm not a 3D animator. Actually, I can use both hands here. Actually, both hands don't look bad now that I moved that around. Okay, yeah, this works, this works. If you're in the middle of a fantasy world, you should absolutely eat the food. Eat the pomegranate, drink the wine, try the soup, it's excellent. You're not going to throw it away, are you? Come on, when are you going to get a chance to try that kind of food again? Oh no, I might not be able to return to my world. Buddy, I've seen your world. Why would you even want to? If you're in the middle of a fantasy world, you should can I do... Yeah, that works. If you're in the middle of a fantasy world, you should absolutely eat the food. Eat the pomegranate, drink the wine, try the soup, it's excellent. You're not going to just throw it away, are you? When else are you going to have a chance to try that kind of food? Oh no, I might not be able to return to my world. Buddy, I've seen your world. Why would you want to? That felt like a decent take. Stop recording on that. Alright, now I open Handbrake. I'm going to tell you secrets. Do you want to hear the secret? I'll tell you a secret. If you're recording, record in MKV. Because if something fails, you still have access to everything. If your hard drive's full, if your computer crashes, if you get a brownout, if everything explodes, your file is still there. It's just how you should be recording if you're any sort of content creator. But, if you do this, you can't load it into most video editing software. Because video editing software... Destination directory is low on disk space. Really? Oh. Really? Which drive is this on? It's on Echo. Oh, geez, it is actually getting full. I should nuke a bunch of recordings. Let me sort by size and blast some of the biggest ones. What do I have here? Minecraft. Minecraft is already uploaded. That's literally 5 gigs on itself. There's a couple of cute recordings here where I forgot that I was... There's a couple cute recordings here where I just left it on for a couple of hours, not realizing that I was still recording. Okay, so that's a bunch of that blasted out. That should be plenty of space now. Looks like I'm pushing a fantasy poetry card. Nice. Alright, so now I encode this into MP4. Don't worry, I'll show you guys exciting stuff in just a moment. I should reset my model though. Get my body stitches down to normal. And then get my section about here. That's the sound of my encoding being finished. That looks good. Good, okay, cool. And now, I open up Vegas Pro. I'll show this in just a second. Get down to a manageable VTuber window. By the way, I really love my... That was the wrong button. By the way, I really love this presentation view here, with the chat in the wall and then me up here. Although usually when I'm using this, my face is much larger. And I really love my game window, because my game window, this here is sort of laid out almost like a webcam, like it's a webcam picture, sort of like you have in some of the, yeah, in some of the streamers that are like use live cams, you know, your Disguised Toast, your Savits, those kind of people. Bye, Bado. Right, let me go back home. Hi. Okay. Add window capture. There we go. Okay, so let's grab the capture. Probably delete half the stuff in that folder too. I need to clean up my stuff. Alright, I do need to cut out my audio for now. And put this in here. Now this is somebody else's, this is my last TikTok that I made. If I just slide this in here, then a lot of stuff should be pretty well set already. Looks like it's already formatted decently too. In the middle of fantasy world. What's with that image quality? Hold on, is that... Okay, no, that's just a preview. Preview quality's worked right now. So where's my takes? In the middle of fantasy world, you should absolutely eat the... That's too loud, so it's peaking. In the middle of fantasy world, you should absolutely eat the food. Eat the pomegranate, drink the wine, try the soup, it's excellent. You're not going to throw it away, are you? Come on, when are you going to get a chance to try that kind of food again? Oh no, I might not be able to return to my world. Buddy, I've seen your world. Why would you even want to? That's one take. If you're in the middle of a... Here's the other take. If you're in the middle of a fantasy world, you should absolutely eat the food. Eat the pomegranate, drink the wine, try the soup, it's excellent. You're not going to just throw it away, are you? When else are you going to have a chance to try that kind of food? Oh no, I might not be able to return to my world. Buddy, I've seen your world. Why would you want to? That's the better take. So slam this in here. Go to, you can still hear me, right? I hope. Yeah, cool. Go to Video FX, hard green for the chroma key. The preview still worked, probably because I think it is because I'm streaming. Turn this into here. What background do I want to use? Also, I should save this as something else. Save as food. Sure. Honestly, that Zoom kind of food crop looks really good. Oh no, I might not be able to try that kind of food. If you're in the middle of a fantasy world, you should absolutely eat the food. Eat the pomegranate, drink the wine, try the soup, it's excellent. You're not going to just throw it away, are you? When else are you going to have a chance to try that kind of food? Oh no, I might not be able to return to my world. Buddy, I've seen your world. Why would you want to? I got a hard cut because that's kind of the TikTok style. You want to? I've seen your world. Why would you want to? What if I cut it right after want? Buddy, I've seen your world. Why would you want? Yeah, I like that. I like that cut. I will use product media. Do I have my outdoors? I do have it here. If I bring my outdoors look here and swap it in. I didn't. Okay. No. Actually, I just need to track. I guess you guys can't see the pop-up windows here. Wondering if Deathclaws would be running good at running a cafe? Can't imagine why they would be. Let's do that. That looks nice. Usually the preview window looks a lot better, but it's because I'm streaming right now. You know, I have my entire streaming kit. If you're in the middle of a fantasy world, you should absolutely eat the food. Eat the pomegranate, drink the wine, try the soup, it's excellent. You're not going to just throw it away, are you? When else are you going to have a chance to try that kind of food? Oh no, I might not be able to return to my world. Buddy, I've seen your world. Why would you want? I think that's a good cut point too. Save as. Render as. I'm not doing any fancy edits here. Render as type, TikTok vertical. In AVC MP4 format. I shouldn't have hit that button. I should not have hit the render button while I'm live. If I crash, you know why. Unfortunately, it's only a 15-second clip, so... There we go. That's a simple lower for TikTok. That's usually I'll do more takes than that. Usually I'll do a couple of edits in there. I usually do a little bit more than that, but that's a simple low edit TikTok. But I think it works. I think it'll be good. If you see it, it'll be on my Shorts channel probably tonight. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. No, I'll do it tonight. You'll see that on my Shorts channel later tonight. Would I play a Knoll if they were playable? And actually, you know what I'm going to show off? You know, guys want a secret? Do you guys want a secret? I don't know. You guys, we've kind of done a lot of stuff already. I don't know, but like, I have a secret I could show you guys if you wanted. I think it's very funny that you say that, though. It's just maybe if you guys promise to share the channel, not like this video because this is kind of like in the weeds, but if you guys promise to share the video with like, you know, to share one playlist, any playlist on my channel, if you guys promise to share a playlist, preferably a recent one, then I'll show you something cool. Do you want to see something cool? This is up to you guys. Do you guys agree? Does someone agree? Does at least one person agree? Yee. Okay, someone's at least okay. Someone's enthusiastic. Okay, I'll take it. Boop. And I push this button here. Let's see here. Hi, how's it going? How are you guys doing? I have a hyena now. And honestly, it's kind of nice. And yes, it's wearing a Jade the Kobold hoodie. Let me just... Is that facing the right direction? I should probably just reset the... But yeah, I have a yin. So yes, and as far as your answer to a question about gnolls, I kind of like them. They're okay. And I don't have the rest of the outfit done. I have other outfits too, but there will be another outfit probably next week, early next week maybe? It's not actually like a 18 plus model, but I still don't want to, share more than this. But yeah, I like this. It's cute. I was thinking about doing more as wholesome as I usually am, but slightly more adult-oriented themes once in a while, and using this model as a way of saying, hey, just so you know what you're getting into, this might be a little bit more racy than the normal Jade the Kobold stuff. Maybe. It's a thought. It's a pupper. Yeah, it's a hyena. It's a yin. It's a hyena. I think it's cute. It doesn't track my mouth as well because if I'd go ow, that's sideways opening the mouth, and that just doesn't track because the track just doesn't handle that. It's certainly not as good as the way it is for... Yeah, things like cosplay being consent, not being, and the fallacies of that, gaming fallacies. Honestly, just how wonderful consent is in general. Like, talking about... I talk about more adult-oriented stuff with the same level of wholesomeness and positivity that I talk about everything because it's me. Hi, I don't know if you know me, but hi, it's me. But yeah, I figured that this was cute and I wanted it. That was a good enough reason right there, frankly. Also, you will notice that this also has my signature dots. The triple. Where is? The triple dots on the cheeks and on the bridge of the nose. This was actually designed initially by Sapphire Dixon and then adapted onto a purchased hyena model. This is not my own custom model. This is someone else's zine model with my skin. And then by the delightful Tori Floop. And then Tori also made the kigurumi, the hoodie. It's actually a full body kigurumi, but it's the hoodie part of it was also made by them with the intention of it being a bit, which is the intention of having it look like it was printed, Anyways, this is a thing that I've been working on and that I might incorporate in the future. Does it have a name? I don't really have a name for it. Like, I would just probably name it, Jade the Hyena, as a way of distinguishing it from the other Jade the Kobold. Because I'm just Jade, and that's just me. That's just who I am. I don't know if you know that. I'm just switching it back over now. Where is it? There it is. I reset my arms, but I set them too far away. Position forward, back. There we go. So you're seeing plenty of behind-the-scenes stuff today. More like Jade the best. Aww. But yeah, this motion here, actually, I can show you now. This ow, ow, ow. That motion the hyena just isn't rigged for. I just can't. Good night, Godwoken. Sleep well. So, yeah. Oh, music. Where's my audio? Bah! There we go. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I don't really have any thoughts. Speaking of Kobold Mouse, how do they drink water without spilling it? Carefully? You just kind of pour it, well, I use a straw, because as long as you can create, a suction, then you can use a straw on any kind of mouth, and just lean your head back to swallow. That's all. Yeah. Because you can still hold things in the mouth. Like, there's no cheek membrane in the, in the traditional sense, but you can still hold something in your mouth, and if you tilt your head back, it still goes, fluids still go to the back of the mouth. It's not that different, right? Do I? Oh, wait. That's right. I saw you send that in before, but I didn't answer it yet. Do I do any community stuff in things such as VR chat? I'm going to be a lot more active in VR chat in a couple of weeks because my full body trackers are coming. I do VR chat not a little bit. Once in a while, I hop in VR chat, but there's a couple things. I have Phantom Touch, and I'm training to improve it. If you don't know, Phantom Touch is when you can physically feel things in VR. It's weird. It's the equivalent of people who have an amputation having phantom pain. It's like, oh, there's no arm there, but I feel pain in it because it feels like there should be an arm there. And some people naturally have Phantom Touch in VR, where if someone touches your arm, you go, oh, gosh. Well, I have a little bit of that, and I've kind of been going on a training arc with it, where I've been working with a friend, where we are just kind of like, playing with each other's arms and stuff, trying to get it to be recognized, and improving our sense of this Phantom Touch. So that means I don't usually go into public lobbies, because somebody walking into you when you have Phantom Touch actually causes a full flinch. That actually is a full body, oh jeez. Whereas in a video game, if you walk into a wall, it's okay, fine, but in VR... So, do I do community stuff in VR chat? I will do it more in the future once I get my full body tracking, but usually when I'm in VR chat, I'm in private rooms, either watching a movie or just hanging out with friends. I also can't stream VR chat. I've tried. It ends up being super laggy, and VR chat ends up being super crashy. So, without being able to stream it, I'm not becoming a VR chat content creator. Benji had similar issues when he tried to incorporate more VR into his content creation strategy. Yeah, Phantom Touch can be fun. I love learning new senses. I think it's amazing. I want to get a subdermal magnet too, because if you have a subdermal magnet in your finger, you can actually learn. You can train. Your body will just train itself, really. You will learn how to feel magnetic fields. You will be able to learn how magnetic fields look and feel. Your body will say, oh, this is a new sense that we have. I guess we better practice it. Your body is incredibly adaptable. Your Phantom Touch is much the same. Yeah, you can learn it because your brain is adaptable and wants to learn new senses. It's excited for that. Another one is a Phantom Warmth. That is correct. I do have a very nice room with a fireplace in VR. I mean, it's the Monster Hunter, the final upgraded room, and I do like that a lot. It has the very good warm feel to it, but I don't feel warmth yet. But I hope to. I could probably train that. You know, I don't have that ability yet, but that doesn't mean I won't. You know, sitting there with my hands in front of a virtual fire, trying to see if I can get them to feel warm. It's fun. It's a fun thing. I like having fun. But this is why I don't do as many things in public lobbies in VR chat. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to it at all. I would love to do more of it. I just haven't. If it's something that you're interested in, hop on the Discord and poke people. I mean, be like, hey, anybody want to set up a VR chat night? I'll probably set one up in the future, but I'm not going to set up one until I get my full body tracking. And I'm waiting on the Slime VR trackers to ship. So I don't know when those are going to get here. That's probably going to be a hot minute. My last update said estimated to ship by May 12th. And that's after several delays. I'm also hoping, against hope, I don't know if it will, but I'm hoping against hope that I can use the Slime VR for tracking here, because that would give me much better arm, hand, and shoulder tracking. I would just put a VR tracker up here on my shoulders and use that to pivot my body around, so you could get a really, really good sense of how I fidget, as opposed to having the neck just be attached to the body. You know? You can actually see me wiggle. You can actually see me wiggle. Currently attempting to figure out how to use your phone as a waist tracker. That is possible. So is Kinect. The Xbox Kinect is actually very good at full body tracking and from one direction. You can't turn around with it because, well, it would just break because it doesn't understand it. But if you're only facing one direction when you do VR, the Kinect tracking works pretty well. You can get. I got a used Kinect on eBay for under $100. I kind of regret it because I should have just saved my money and put it into the other tracking, but, you know, I got it just because, hey, the 360, I forget which one is the good one. I think the original Kinect was actually the better one for it, but I forget which one it is. I think you can use either one. I don't know for certain, but you might need an adapter. Other channels on YouTube will know more about it than I would. You can probably search for some info. Wah. Oh, the 360 can't be used? Oh. Really? Weird. But yeah, I would like to do more in VR chat. I think it would be fun. But I'm probably not going to do... I don't know, maybe. If you want to meet up there, I could just hop in, like... I don't know if I'm in the mood for it tonight, per se. Yeah, I could just hop in when people want to, you know, hang out. Let me know. If it's something you want to see more of, just, you know, poke me once in a while. Poking kobolds works. It just works. It just works, people. Poking kobolds, it just works. Yeah, I think the Xbox One Kinect is the one I'm using too, or the one that I have. Poke. I will say that it is tragic. That I'm more of a calm streamer. I try to be more of a relaxing streamer. I know I'd get more views if I was like super hype all the time, but at the same time, I'm not going to compromise who I am for clicks. You know, I mean, maybe a little. Maybe just, you know, I'll adapt what I do for clips a bit, But at the end of the day, I'm still me, right? I'm still me, and people show up for me, and I want to be me, and I want that to be good enough. But I also want to chase the algorithm here and there, but less in the style of content. And more in how I'm approaching what games I'm playing and things like that. I try to be honest with myself and you guys. You've always been a bit shy. You worry about joining random Discord chats. Well, I can say that my Discord is very welcoming and very friendly. It's you go there and you will be welcomed and probably called cute. It's true. But yeah, I don't know. You don't have to. If you don't feel comfortable with it, then don't do it. I'm not saying not to do anything you don't feel comfortable with. Please, please, please. But yeah. Anyways, that's about... I think about all I really had planned. As in nothing, I didn't have anything planned. You're trying to expand your experiences? Nice, nice. Well, I think we're going to call stream here. I feel like I talked about nothing for 2 hours because that's exactly what happened. Go, and I hope that you find a wonderful gay penguin in your life. Be sure to like the video. I forgot to rant about capitalism. No, I didn't. No, I toasted. I did it, but I did it tangentially, right? I talked about I talked about the conservatism of the church, like in roundabout terms with the Penguin story. I didn't rant about capitalism exactly, but it was in the ballpark. It was in the ballpark, you know. It still counts. I love you guys. All right, friends. I'll see you again real soon. Cheers.